Ladies and gentlefish, how are we? How are we? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for April 24th. Gonna give everybody a minute here to join. I started a minute late, man. I'm sorry. Um, Pretty good day today. Pretty good trading day today. Pretty good live session this morning as well, guys. It was a lot of information. Um, a lot of goods to take away from it, right? So I got my cat currently sleeping on me. But hey, Shadow, wake up. Get up now. Yep. Bye bye. Thank you. See you later. Alright, so we know that we took a few trades. We'll go over those first and then we'll start. We're gonna give everybody a few minutes here to join and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. I wanna listen to some music in the background. Hold on. Let's go, Mohammed. I think I just seen you in the chat. Good evening, my brother. Good morning for you, pretty much. Alright. Guess it's just me and you for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Not gonna make this super long. Should be an easy day today. Shouldn't be looking at too much things today, but we'll see, right? So let's start off with AUs. That's the one trade that we took today, right? As we can see, we had a 2 days of rise, looking for that third day 372, right? We know that Asia session, not only did it give us a 372, but we also understood that the 40 pip range that STP was, we already did it throughout the day. We already did 45. So let's talk about the entry and why we took this one. So first, let's add this 4-hour candle was green, right? And then we finished the day on a day of rise, which is perfect. Now for a continuation, we'll be looking for price to give us a no net. Now after 3 days, we're expecting price to either give us a no net or a drop, right? At this point, we still know that we were trading between lower low, lower high, lower low, and this is where price gave us a change of character: higher low, higher high, right? This higher high, this entire trend to the top side, beautiful moves for the week, right? In the week already, we already did 122 pips out of the 132 that could be made with ADR. So could we be expecting this third week of drop to be made if we could respect these highs today and price continues to go down? I would think so. But at this point, again, we know that we're still trading between higher high, higher low, and higher high, right? So we need to wait for these zones here, right? Another reason for the entry, let's take a look at the engulfing candle, right? I don't have it drawn up here. I deleted the box by accident. Right, we have an engulfing candle, which was the retest, right? Engulfing, price went up, retested, went down, right? And the zone for the pullback that I was expecting to have is from here to here, right? In the lower time frame, if we go to the 5-minute, looks a little bit, just a little bit better because I just want to look at structure, right? We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then all of this is part of the same trend, the lower low. So what I was looking for, right, these red lines, what I'm looking at is the red candle that gave the engulfing red candle, right? I'm looking for the break of the wick, right? So the break of these lows, which happened here, and I'm looking for the retest to be between the bottom of the wick and the closure of the body, right? So now in the 5-minute time frame, I know that also just looking at structure, okay, that the bottom of that, the candle closure is this high, this low, right? And then in the lower time frame, we have lower high, lower low. So all I'm looking for now is that change of character in the internal time frame to tell me that price is going to continue to go down, right? So there's another re-entry on this one. Very aggressive trades. Again, I don't like taking these trades because of what we're doing right now. And I explained this to Fo earlier because he DM'd me privately, and I'll put the stop loss here, right? That's what I did instead of putting it here. He was like, I understand now why it is that you say you don't like taking these trades, right? Because yeah, we could see, right? We could see on one side of the story, which is we could expect these lows to be made, right? But we could also see the other side, which is we have gaps in the market. It's a reset of the trend. So these third weeks, we know that it's not really something that we could be expecting, right? But we could see what price is doing. Not only that, we also have a change of character and a break of structure. We're trading above the 800 EMA already. So there's a lot of indications also telling us that price might want to continue going up, on top of the fact that we're still making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So these lows that we're in, could they just be that internal pullback, right? So they could, they could do something like this, or what we're doing now, something like this, or go lower and do it here, right? Or go lower and do it here. We could just be in the pullback before price continues to push to the top side. So these third week lows really are going to be determined on what price does now, right? So at this point, both my entries already at a break even, right? My stop loss is already at break even. So this is an aggressive trade where this is pretty much a swing trade for me. This is what I would consider a swing trade, right? I'm not looking for STP being 40 pips, because again, we entered when price already did STP. At this point, I'm looking for a whole move to be made for the week, right? And again, it's Wednesday already, going into Thursday. Midweek reversals, we could continue to go down, right? Either way, right? Because we also, if we look at it this way, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, right? After a higher high, what do we expect? A higher low. So let's see what price wants to do, right? After 3 days of rise, market must chop or drop. So if we end up consolidating today and price just goes sideways, it is what it is. If it gives us that day of drop, we could at least capitalize on the move for the day, right? Which would be the 40 pips. So that was the one trade that we took. US30 was the other one, right? Beautiful moves. Entry was in the 4-hour time frame, right? We had an engulfing candle, green, green, red. The pullback was the entry for this move, right? We were in a little bit of drawdown for a few minutes, right? And then price went down. STP was 332, but I had the 1 minute gap here at the bottom of the zone. So that was my zone. As soon as price hit STP, it did a few more pips to the bottom side and went right back to the top. So let me clear this up, change this. So we know that this 1 minute gap is no longer here. This 1 minute gap here also went up, right? This was another zone that I had targeted, right? I honestly thought that price was going to come back up here, cover the gap, and then go back down. But it went down first, gave us a nice break of structure. I don't want to say this is a nice one right here real quick because of this. Testing, this one testing, this next red candle didn't close below the wick. So that confirmation of the break of structure wasn't given. It's not a clean break of structure, right? But we could see that price, not only did it cover the gap that we had here, but it also came up to the 30-minute engulfing the retest with this green candle. So is this where price wants to continue to push to? Would be really nice to see that, right? We could look for a continuation trade going into tomorrow. And perfect, right? We had 3 days of rise. After 3 days, again, we already know market must chop or drop, ended up giving us the drop. So we'll see. Is this still part we're still making? We know higher highs and higher lows and higher highs. So could this just be the pullback higher low to continue and make a higher high? It could be. So we have to wait for these confirmations. And again, like I said, the fact that we didn't get a clean break of structure of these lows, these were all testing candles and we didn't get that candle to close below. This is also why I'm saying that this could simply just be a market trend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So let's see. We still know we have these gaps here at the bottom of the market, but again, the same way that price left these gaps here in the bottom is the same way that price left these gaps at the top of the market before we went down, right? When everybody believes, oh, this is a double top, price is going to shift now, we're completely going to go down, right? There's a reason why these gaps are here. There's a reason why price gave us that change of character. right? There's a reason why price gave us this break of structure. So I'm still thinking, right, and I'm still my outlook for US30 is still uptrend. So again, getting into these pullbacks, cool. You could get into the pullbacks, but understand the zones that you're trading in, right? You're still trading higher lows, and higher highs. The same thing in AU, right? Catching these trades going short. We understand that until we don't get these lows, until we don't get a change of character, we're still trading the pullback, right? Meaning right now on AUD USD, this is what we're trading, right? We're here, right? Just trading into this, right? But the idea behind this trade, the outcome of this trade, not only is it to go down, but we're expecting this trade to go here instead of continuing the higher highs and higher lows and the higher highs and the higher lows. We're expecting it to continue to then make lower low, lower high, lower lows, and lower highs in the next 2 to 3 days, right? If that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't make sense, let me know and I could explain it in another way. But that's the best way I could explain the difference between these two trades, right? um then Bitcoin was also another beautiful trade. um Super simple. It was a 1 hour, right? This is exactly what we want to see on Bitcoin. In the 1 hour we had a nice engulfing candle, price came back up, tapped it, it literally was a wick, then went right back down, right? Gave everybody another chance to get in before we melted down. So this was beautiful, literally just an hour and a half trade, straight to take profit, which was STP. I think it was like 230 or something like that. Yeah, 230. Beautiful, straight to TP. So couldn't ask for a better day. Right now we know we have 2 days of drop on Bitcoin. Could we be expecting a third day? Let's see. We still got an hour, I think, for this candle to close. So we could be expecting that third day drop. Again, we already know what we could be expecting on US30 as well. So yeah, those were the 3 trades for today. And then again, AU, I'm still waiting. If it goes back up to break even, it is what it is, right? And I'll take I'll take those break even trades for AU. I'm not worried about that. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So AU, since we already know where we're at, we already updated this, right? We'll go on to the next one. I'm not gonna do any of these. Let me see. Let's update EURCAD, right? We have these highs that were broken. Perfect. Price went to the 800. Perfect. This is where the next zone where price is gonna make a decision. 2 days of rise, already the third day, got a new high with the opening candle. I was gonna hit it now. Am I gonna keep this one on? I don't think so. 800 EMA is up close. We're in the middle of the zone. 4-hour time frame, we're in the middle of the 4-hour zone. Internal time frame, we're still making lower low, lower high, lower low. Tomorrow's Thursday is the first day where there's gonna be news. EuroCAD is gonna be Euro news as well. I'll keep this one on. In the middle, we're in the middle of the 30-minute time frame zone. Is I don't like this pair at all. I really don't. But we'll keep it on. We'll keep it on. It's all good. Euro USD gave us a day of drop. We had these highs that were tested, these lows that were broken. Price just consolidated down here and went right back to the top. So at this point, I'm gonna keep these highs as here, and the lows that I want to see being broke are gonna be these lows here. And if we were to get a pullback, I'd expect a pullback to happen somewhere here in this area. GJ and GU. Look at GJ. GJ, we have 2 days of rise. Perfect. Exactly what we want to see. Price broke. Gave us a retest. Continue to the top. those highs. This one here. These lows here. Right now, am I gonna be expecting a 372? Let's update this in the 4-hour time frame. Right at this point, right, I don't like this 372. The reason why is because now we've reached a 4-hour high and a daily time frame high. So this was the pair, right, that we had 3 months of rise, and we were expecting this month to give us a new high. So now that we have that new high, and now that price reached this new high and we're still trading within those highs, we still don't have a clean break of structure. I could do EA, yeah, I'll turn it on. Believe this is where we'll finally start seeing that flip to go back down on GJ, right? So let's start seeing. We have these highs that broke, gave us the same lows, so we still know that we're trading between this low here and the high that we're trading is the last green candle before the push down. It's gonna be over here. I'm gonna use the top of the red wick and the body of the green candle, right? We have 2 days of rise. Let's see what price wants to do. This is the zone that we're trading in still, the top and the bottom. EA, I'll do that now, and GCAD will do that after as well. Okay. So EA, this is what we've had drawn out. When was the last time we did this? Monday. Okay, so we knew we were in the zone of consolidation, right? Where price rejected the lows, went right back up, gave us a lower high, then price started going back down. Consolidated, broke, and then down here, I'm supposed to delete this, right? Because this is what we were looking for, right? We had this drawn out. Remember, I said, okay, this is what we're looking for in this area, right? We're either going to look for price to break, to continue to go down, or we're going to see a reject to go back up. So this was the outlook that we drew out on Monday going into Tuesday, right? And that's exactly what happened, right? And then we were talking about, okay, if price breaks these highs, then we can continue to see price go up here, or we're going to see price break, retest. Yo, look how crazy that is. When was the last time we drew this? Because this is picture perfect, right? To go back down. So now here at the bottom is the same thing, right? Now we know we have to break. Could we be expecting price to continue to go lower? Let's see. We had a day of drop. Price gave us 2 days of drop. We were looking for 372, right? Going counter. This is going counter against the trend. And gave us a 3rd day of drop. So now 3 days of drop, we're expecting price to either no net or to give us a day of rise. So let's look at the higher time frame real quick. Where are we? What are we looking at? So we have a month of counter drop. We're in V2. We're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA, but right now we're in the middle of the zone. Again, this is where the market makers are going to collect contracts, trapping traders, making them believe that price is going one way and then it's going the other, right? But let's go back to the daily. Where are we in the zone of consolidation? Right, we're in an internal consolidation in the 4-hour time frame, and we're at the low of these zones now. So now these are going to be looking like the safety trades. We have a week of rise this week. We could expect price to either finish on a no net or on a day or on a week of drop. We're already at the low. Still trading between these lows and these highs. Right, and price still hasn't reached these highs. These are weak, or these are strong highs, and these are weak lows because price already reached these lows before. So now again we go back to the 30-minute time frame. Change of character. VOS. I don't like that I did this, right? I would have rather done higher high, higher low, higher high. This is the break lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're trading between this low and this high. right? So now that we know that we had 3 days of drop, trading between this high and this low, we can see that we're trading. This is going to be the high that price wants to break to continue this push to the top side, and the lows will keep them here. Do we have any engulfing candles? Red, red, greens, not in the 4, nothing in the daily. In the 1 hour, we have a few. Alright, so we have in the 1 hour time frame, we have a red, red, green here. Then we have a red, red, green, but again, this red is not valid, right? Because the second green didn't close below the first red, or I'm sorry, the second red didn't close below the first red candle wick, right? But that's a strong zone right here. That's good. 30-minute time frame. Do we have anything? No, nothing strong. Right, again, I wouldn't count this one obviously, and it wouldn't be valid anyway because it went down his stop loss. And then I wouldn't count this one either, not only because the second green didn't close below, but because this isn't a strong red candle anyway, right? That body of that candle closure isn't a strong red candle. So nothing in the 30, but that 1 hour, that was a strong 1 hour engulfing for sure. This was a good entry. This would have been a really good entry. What time was this? This was at the time that we would have been trading, but STP, I wasn't looking at this one. STP was already hit. So EA, yeah, we could look for a continuation here maybe. Wouldn't be a bad one to look for trades. Again, we know that we're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. We're not there in the daily or the 4, but in the 30-minute, we're right on it. Right, and this is where price is consolidating. So this is going to be a tight squeeze. I'll actually just put this one like this. We'll see if we can get an entry off this one. This one would be really good today. Right, this one we could also we could square this one up with a flag post pattern as well. So if we want to use our fibs for more confluence, we could use our fib here for this. Right, we could expect price, and I'd put it here. Give me a second, guys. My bad. Flag posts aren't from the bottom of the zone. It's from the start of where the push starts. So I'd be expecting the 23.6 with 38.2 retracement. And this is where we want to start seeing price go up. Let me go down to a lower time frame. Do we have a red, red, green anywhere? We have one here, red, red, green, but this green is closed way too close to that candle, so I wouldn't say that's a strong green candle. Red, red, green, but again, second red didn't close below, so I'm not gonna mark that as an engulfing. Same thing with this one, it's not a strong red candle. This first red candle is not a strong red candle, so I wouldn't count this one as an engulfing either. But you know, again, it hasn't given the retest. Maybe this is going to be the retest here to continue the push to the top side. It could be, right? That could be an aggressive trade, right? Because if you take this trade, let's talk about that, right? Just think about what this entry could be, right? You take this trade, right? Let's say you take this trade here, your stop loss literally is 5 pips, right? And where's your TP at? You got 5 pips for your stop loss, your take profit. Your TP number 1 should be up here in this area. I'd put it here. Alright, 48 pips. Why? Right, let's talk about it. Reason number why, market structure. We have clean traffic up until we get to where? Right, technically is here at the high of yesterday, or the high of today, what gave us today. Right, but I'm looking at where price really gave a nice pullback, right, which would be up here. Right, second thing I'm looking at 800 EMA. Third thing I'm looking at is STP. Right, what's STP? Let's see. STP for this is 64 pips. So 64 pips from the low to the high is right here. So am I really gonna be chasing an extra 6 pips, right, to be exactly at the high? Just think about how, look, everything is numerical here. Is it a coincidence that STP is right exactly where the 800 EMA is? Is it a coincidence that STP is above exactly where the previous market structure high is at? Come on, guys. Right? We've been doing this for way too long at this point. So once we already know that and we're using all our confluences together, and we could still see, okay, we're still making at the end of everything else lower low, lower highs, and lower lows. We understand we could take these trades going long, but the same thing that happened with AUD USD, we could take those trades going long, right? But we understand that just happened. But we understand that at the end of the day, it could always just be a pullback. Where's my phone? Hold on. Cat just went crazy for a second. What happened? Anyway, so that's the breakdown for EA. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you need me to explain that again. And then you said GCAD. Alright, so GCAD, we haven't updated this one in a minute. Another day of drop here, and then we gave a day of rise here. Then we have 2 days of rise, looking for a third day. Third day technically already given with the wick. 800 EMA is also here. Market structure, we know that we're still trading. These highs were closed, man. Go back. High, low, high. These lows broke. Gave us this high, this low. This low broke. Gave us this high, this low. This high broke. Gave us this low and this high. These highs were tested. These never broke. I don't know why I have that like that. You have these lows that broke here and gave us, right, the same highs, these highs here, right? So this is still higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we know that we're trading between this high and this low, still making lower lows and lower highs, right? So let's look at two things here. The first thing I want to look at is we use these lows, perfect, right? Boom. Started off the week, you got a nice entry. Fucking hold that shit. That's a beautiful swing trade. Alright, so there's two things you want to start looking at, right? Which is let's use our fibs for extra confluence. Right, so we know that we're trading between this high and this low, right? Where are we expecting the first little zone, right? When I'm looking at my fibs, just a pullback, right? My first point of interest is the 50%, right? Are we at the 50%? Yes. Okay, cool. Did we drift away from the 50%? No. So this already tells me that this 50% entry is not going to be valid, right? What's another reason why this 50% is valid, right? Because there's things I like about the fibs and there's things I don't like about the fib, right? So the first things first, we're in an uptrend looking for price bounce off the 200 EMA. We're right on it. Okay, cool. On the daily time frame. In the 4 hour, we're below it, so that's not good. 30-minute, we are above it. Okay, cool. And we can see that we used that for the entry for today. Right on it, boom, bounced off of it, went up. Okay. So the reasons why I don't really like using the fibs is because there's more to it than just the fib retracements, right? Like you have to look at market structure. Like first thing is first, you like to use it as confluence, right? A 50%. Why wouldn't I like a 50% retracement entry on this pair? Because this isn't a normal lower low, lower high, lower low pattern, right? Why is it not normal? Because a normal pattern you see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. In this one, you have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, but it's such a stretched market, right? Which is gonna imbalance move here. So this isn't like, to give you the example, there's not little lower lows, lower highs here going down, right? When you're going into the entry, there's not little lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? The same way there's no little higher highs, like there is little higher highs and higher lows here, right? Compared to this where it's just straight red candles, this had higher highs and higher lows in the uptrend, right? They're both uptrends, but they're two different uptrends. One has structure, the other one doesn't. So on top of the fact that it's just a clean traffic to the top, I believe that this is where price is gonna want to retrace back to where there's structure, right? The previous lower low, right? The previous break of structure, we know that price is gonna most likely want to come up and retest that zone, right? So now this is where we start using everything else as confluence. Oh shit, what else do we have? The 800 EMA. We understand that price likes to respect the 800 EMA and bounce off the 800 EMA. Oh shit, what else is on the 800 EMA? Right, on top of the fact that it's the structure, the retest of the structure, we have the 61.8 retracement. So this is where the people with the 61.8 retracement, they start looking at this like, oh look, this is where we're, you know. So the fib for me, I don't really, you know, to simplify your charts and not have too many tools on your chart, this is why we understand market structure, right? And price action, right? Because that's king. That's what happens at the end of the day, right? Fibs don't work 100% of the time because you have to input market structure. If you're always entering at a 50% retracement without looking at the market structure, 50% of the time you'll win, 50% of the time you lose. So GCAD is interesting, right? I at this point is just, again, we know we're trading between the lower lows and lower highs. We gotta wait it out to see what happens. If price decides to break above these highs, then we know we can look for those continuations. But at this point, this is where I'd start seeing price slow down and make a decision. So we gotta wait it out. I gotta go get water, man. We're talking a lot today. We were on GJ, so let's do GU now. So GU going counter, right? We're still making lower lows and lower highs, which is not what we want to see. We had a day of rise, then today gave us a day of no net. We're still trading. We had this high break. We're trading between this low and this high. Right, let's delete a little bit of these drawings. It's low. These highs. Green. No net. Not much to say about GU. Gotta wait it out. We're still making lower lows, lower highs. I'm not gonna feel comfortable taking a trade off of this until we start making higher highs and higher lows. We have lower low, lower high, lower low, right? You know, technically, let's take this shit out. Let's put it this way. Okay, so price did break. We're trading between this high and this low here. Okay, which is not a clean break, right? But the wick or this candle closure closed above, so I'm gonna count it as a little change of character. But if I count it as a change of character, I would need to see a pullback. So let's look at it this way, where we have these lows, right? We know it was this high and this low here, so let's mark that up so we're not confused when we see this again, right? We should actually change of character, right? So we want to see a pullback. So again, we could even use our fibs for this, right? We know that we're trading between here and here, right? We could be looking for a 38.2 to a 50% retracement, and that would be exactly where a little engulfing, but it wouldn't be a valid engulfing because the red didn't close below the first, right? But it's also connected to a fair value gap, right? So all of this could be a, you know, imbalance, order block, fair value gap, whatever. So we could be expecting a pullback before we start going up for this one again. So GU, we'll keep this one in mind. Gonna keep this one in mind for sure. Could be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Give me a second, guys. Hold on. Again, if you guys have any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, once we're done with these last couple pairs, we'll be done for the night. We're missing US30, USDCAD, gold, and Bitcoin. So US30, again, we already went over this one, right? The entry for this one was just a little pullback, right? So we already went over this one. We're still trading between pretty much the same highs and the same lows. We didn't get a clean break of structure, so I'm going to clean up this one and put a low here, and then the highs that we want to see being broke are going to be these highs over here. Again, we know we have gaps at the bottom the same way that we know we have gaps at the top. So at this point, it's just really depending on where price wants to push. We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right, so 800 EMA, we broke above it. We're using that as a little support resistance, right? It's like breaking below, breaking above, breaking back below, just making up its mind, doesn't know what it wants to do yet. What else can we see? That's it, right? And then just coming up to the left side, we know that this is the last high that needed to be broken before going into clean traffic to the top, right? And this is the high that price rejected, right? Did not break it, rejected, and went down. So I'm gonna wait and see if price decides to break above these highs. Actually, that's where this high was, and I don't know why I deleted that. That's a good eye there, good eye. So if price breaks above these highs, then we'll look for price to continue to push to the top side, right? If we don't and we start breaking below these lows, then perfect, right? So we'll start seeing what price wants to do. So we're either gonna look for this, or we're gonna be looking for price to do this. USDCAD, lower low, lower low, change of character, higher high. Whatever trending between. This low and this high. We know a change of character is not a definite move that, oh, it's gonna start making higher highs and higher lows now. No. So if we don't get that break of structure, no trade for me until we get this break of structure. And the lows that need to be respected are gonna be these lows here. What do we know about USDCAD? Let's go look. Daily time frame. We're at the top of the zone. 3 months of rise on the 3 month. On the third month, we had a no net. We're expecting that fourth month variation. Perfect V2. We're looking for bounces off the 50 EMA. We had that in the beginning of the month to continue to push the top slide in the 4-hour time frame. We had 3 weeks of rise. This week being the 4th week, I'm not expecting price to give me another week of rise. I'm expecting either a no net or a drop. And right now, we are in that no net area. So looking good there as well. 4-hour time frame, we are bouncing away from the 50 EMA. Not good, but could happen. Again, we're at the top of the zone, right? Why am I saying that could happen? Again, at the top of the zone, how many times did we reject these highs? Right? Multiple times. At the top, went back to the bottom. At the top, went back to the bottom. On the top, went back to the bottom. We're at the top again now. Could we be expecting price to push right back to the bottom again? Right? Could happen. Again, remember, we're looking for price for US30 USDCAD. The correlation is different. So if I'm expecting US30 to continue this push to the top side, right, I'd be expecting USDCAD to continue to give me a pullback to the bottom, right? So I'm kind of playing both hands here, right? So we just gotta wait for market structure, right? That's another thing. Structure really is not telling us that price is gonna go up yet. At this point, yeah, it's telling us the 800 EMA is here. We broke below it. It tested it. Didn't have a clean break below the 800, right? Nothing gave us a clean break below the 800 EMA. So we're still ranging above the 800 EMA. So that means that we're still using the 800 as a support to continue the uptrend push, right? Until we don't get a clean break below the 800 EMA and until we don't get a clean break of structure above, we're still ranging. That means price in this area, we could just be consolidating in this area, right? So opposed to when, like I said, like this could be something that could be happening right now, opposed to when price is trending, right? Opposed to when price is trending. So yeah, we gotta wait. Just wait it out, give it a few hours, right? We're still in that little zone where like, oh, okay, yeah, we could see highs, but at the same time, we could see those shorts coming in, right? The same thing in US30. Like, yeah, would love to see these shorts, but we could see price potentially going back up. So just gotta give it up. Gotta give it a few seconds, give it a few minutes, give it a few hours. Session just started. Give it a little bit, like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Take a look at it again. And I really need water. I've talked a lot today. I have no water here. I've drank everything, man. We had 3 days of drop. Perfect. Tomorrow we'd be expecting price to give us a no net or a day of rise. We're still literally still just consolidating between these lows. I guess we can put it here. Right, these lows and these highs. Rejected the highs, went back to the lows. Not much really to say in this one. Right, 4-hour time frame, we still don't have a clean break of the lows. We have an engulfing red candle. But this green candle has a strong wick, right? A rejection wick. So this isn't a good engulfing red candle. On top of the fact, the engulfing candles and any zone that you're trading, right? We're at the low of the zone. Do I want to see an engulfing red candle, right? Do I want to see sells at the bottom of a zone, or do I want to see buys at the bottom of a zone? Vice versa. Do I want to see sells at the top of a zone, or do I want to see buys at the top of the zone? Right? The only way an engulfing candle at the bottom, right, an engulfing red candle, an engulfing sell would be valid at the bottom of a trade is if price gives you a valid break of structure of the lows, gives you a pullback, and then in the pullback it'll give you the engulfing candle to get in. That's the only way these engulfing candles at the bottom of the zone are valid. And then the same thing, just vice versa for when you're at the top of the zone. If we get a break of structure, a valid break of structure of the highs, and then here at the top of the zone we get an engulfing green candle, we know we could get in on the engulfing candle retest to continue to go up. But if you see that price is rejecting the highs, giving you wicks, right, not breaking, and it gives you an engulfing green candle at the top, you know you could take that as a flip candle to go short, right, which is what happened here, to go short. Right, so that's what we could be looking at now. But if we're gonna use this candle as a flip candle, right, we'd want to see price break above here first. So also that wick is just very, very long. So for anything that we want to use it for is gonna require patience. I have that. You guys have it? So we'll see. We'll see what price wants to do. We're still consolidating, so until we don't break above those consolidations, I am not going to be trading. We'll add a green line here as well. Dude, I really got to go get some water after I'm done here. This is bad. Right, we can see that, okay, that's still the top of the zone of consolidation, so that's good. Still waiting to see what happens with gold. And then Bitcoin, guys, beautiful, beautiful second day of drop today. Looking for a 372. If we're expecting this to go down, we'd expect US30 to go down, so that's good. But we'll see. If we don't get a 372, we also understand why. You know, this is going counter against the trend. We understand that Bitcoin is still higher high and higher lows. Bitcoin is still uptrending. Bitcoin has 2 months of rise, this month being the 3rd month, right? So with that being said, look at the day, right? We only have a week left for this month. So could that 372 be a reversal? Could that be a flip candle? Could that be a market manipulation to make everybody want to go short and we're going up, right? Could that be the trap move that we're looking for? It could be. So, you know, personally, I would take a step back from this trade. I wouldn't be looking for 372, and I'd be looking for price to start going back up now. And again, makes sense to what I was saying with US30 and with USDCAD, right? Looking at Bitcoin, looking at how that moving using the correlation gives me a little bit more of a clear picture of what's going on with the other pairs that are looking like it's gonna do too many things at once, right? So being able to see that, okay, maybe Bitcoin isn't gonna go down anymore, it'll give me the confirmation of US30 that, okay, again, yes, we could see that is we would love to see this go back down, overall we could still see higher highs and higher lows. So I'd be expecting that to go up. And then USDCAD, same thing. We could see that we have a change of character, price is gonna want to go up. But again, realistically speaking, we know that we still have a zone where right now price is rejecting the highs and rejecting the lows. So we gotta be patient. So that's pretty much it, guys. Unless you guys have any other questions, we'll be done for the night, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow morning 6 a.m. for the live trading session.